was fine. It was almost like a fighter, but I just wanted to get the feel of a real fighter. And so they allowed the instructors to check out in P-38s. So as soon as I got to be an instructor, I got one of my friends, Andy Anderson, to check me out in a P-38. First thing we had to do was fly a little AT-9, which was the fastest fighter trainer they had, a little faster than almost anything, a real fighter. We flew the AT-9, and he says, now you've got to get a blindfold cockpit check in a 38. So I went and got my blindfold cockpit check, and I came back and says, okay, I'm ready to go. And one of the guys in the ready room came over and said, hey, you can't fly those. The Air Force inspector just came through and says every one of them has got a cracked wing mount, and they grounded them all. So that was the second time I missed flying a P-38. Third time, really, counting the Kennedy deal. And then they sent us to Central Instructor School after we'd been instructing a year. They sent us to Central Instructor School.
Sounds like
in
the
San
government.
Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, it does.
And there they had a lot of these P-40 Warhawks. But they didn't have enough for everybody. They just had enough for about half the instructors. So we had to draw out on that. And I didn't make the raffle. I didn't draw out. So that was the fourth time I missed flying a fighter. And then when I got switched to bombers, as soon as I got out of Central Instructor School, they switched us to bombers. And I got to Salina, Kansas, and they had some brand new P-63s, which was the old P-39 stretched out with a big engine. And the pilots that were flying that said, that's the best fighter in the world. So I went to the CEO and I said, hey, I'm a fighter pilot as well as a bomber pilot, and I need to fly that fighter. And he said, well, you've been flying. And I said, I got 1,000 hours in an AT-6. He said, oh, sure, you can fly. Go get a blindfold cockpit check and return you loose. So I went and got my blindfold cockpit check in the P-63, the new version of the P-39. Had the engine behind the pilot, and it was the cutest little airplane in the whole war. Really a cute little airplane. And I went and got my blindfold cockpit check, and I started the engine up, and I thought, I could just go right now, and I don't have to say anything to anybody, but I really ought to check with the squadron commander one more time before I do this, because he hadn't actually said go. And I don't know if I left the engine idling or not, but I went in to tell the guy I was ready to go, and he said, wait a minute. If I let you fly that fighter, all these bomber pilots are going to be on me and drive me crazy, so I decided not to let you fly it. And that broke my heart, because I really wanted to fly that P-63. And then, when I got to Albuquerque after that, the war was over and I had plenty of time on my hands. And my wife wasn't with me. I went down to the flight test guy who was testing war-weary B-17s and B-24s and C-47s and things like that. And I said, I got plenty of time. Can I help you? And he said, oh boy, I need you. So you keep coming. And I noticed that he had a P-38 and a P-47 and a Mustang there. And I said to him, can I fly those things? He said, yeah, you can go fly them. Just get a blindfold cockpit check and you can fly them. But the other two guys in my crew heard that I had gone down there, and they said, oh, take me down and get me in this. So I took them with me to see if old Captain Bailey would let them test fly these things like I was doing. And he said, yeah, you can take them with you. And one of the pilots' names was Kobush in my crew. And we took up an old Orwary B-17 to test it to see if it was good enough to go to Kingman, Arizona to Pickle. And one of the engines vibrated under high power. But I knew old Bailey well enough that I knew he knew it would go to Kingman even on 3 engines. And I wasn't going to say a word about that bad engine and with that cotton-picking Kobush. When Bailey asked us how it was, Kobush says, when we give it to gun number 1, it gives it this. And I thought, Kobush, you just killed us. And that made Bailey so mad. He said, what are you, a pilot or a throttle pusher? He was a B-26 pilot. He'd been, 1,000 hours in a B-26. And that just made it so Kobush and Onken, the other guy, and me didn't get any favors out of Bailey. He would let us do anything, including flying those fighters once those guys got there. So that was about the 4th or 5th time that I didn't get to fly a fighter when I really wanted to. And I remember saying to the Lord, if you got something wrong, something against me flying a fighter, this has gone beyond a joke.